How y'all doing tonight? I'm going to start with a question. Does the incumbent, Senator Langford, does he belong in the Republican caucus in the U.S. Senate? Sounds pretty unanimous. Pretty unanimous. But let me go with me a little bit. Maybe he does belong. Because right, maybe he does belong. Maybe if that's the best we could possibly elect from the state of Massachusetts, that was the absolute best. The state of Elizabeth Warren and Ted Kennedy. Maybe that would kind of be okay. We would be cool with it, but you know. But my friends, this is Oklahoma. This is Tom Coburn country. And you people deserve someone so much better, so much more in line with your values than he is. You don't have to settle for that. This is a 70% plus Republican state. We shouldn't have a weak sister Republican. We already got one Mitt Romney in the Senate. That's one too many. You deserve so much better, and you got it. You have got it in this candidate, Jackson. You know he will not disappoint you in the same way Langford does. You know when MSNBC and CNN and New York Times threaten to write nasty articles about him, you think he's going to care? You think that's going to get him to change his positions away from the ones that you are going to elect him on here? Absolutely not. It's a man you can trust. We're going to send somebody to Washington from this state who will put America first. Are you having a good time tonight? Good. You know what's not a good time? You know what's not a good time? Is at a rodeo when all the fun things are happening inside, but you're in the parking lot palm carding for Jackson. That's not a good time. You know what else is not a good time? Is when you're sitting at home and you'd like to be watching a football game or something, but you can't because it distracts you from making the 200 phone calls to voters you have to make every night for the campaign. That's not a good time. Those are some kind of masterpiece. You know, it's definitely not a good time. So you guys have a primary on June 28th. Now, this is my first time in Oklahoma, and it's, to my surprise, nothing like the musical. What's the weather like here around late June? What's that like? Hot. It's everything. Knocking on doors in June is not a good time. And it's my hope that you aren't here just for this good time, but you're here for the very difficult times that are ahead, because this is an extremely difficult race. It is rare that a primary challenger defeats an incumbent. It is extremely rare. It happens so rarely that when it does, it makes big news and you hear about it. It's the exception that proves the rule, right? And why is it difficult? Because I believe that Jackson is going to be very successful at raising money. Right? And that's you guys. I believe he's going to be on television, on radio. And look, I've worked in politics since 1994. That was my first cycle. If you add it up, I've done 15 election cycles, so I've seen everything. And there's a defect. A funny thing that happens in the electorate, there's a defect where once they've decided they support somebody, they put their vote down on them, right? It's sort of like a sunk cost. And what happens is that politicians take advantage of that goodwill. Look, in 2014, you guys looked at the Republican primary field. You made a decision about who you like. You made it. And for too many people, that is a decision that is immovable and is stuck. It's stuck. And it continues election after election after election, where you do not reevaluate every election who the best candidate is, because you've already decided, oh, I know that guy, I don't need to hear anything. Oh, this guy's running against him, I don't need to hear anything about it. Now, it's sort of like if you hear MSNBC or CNN primetime bad-mouthing somebody who you kind of have a good opinion about, you pretty much reject it. In some cases, it actually makes you like that person more. Right? Better example. Let's say somebody badmouths your mom's apple pie. Now, even if your mom did in fact burn the pie, when you hear that criticism, you kind of discount. You don't want to hear it because you've already said, look, that's my mom. Now, you don't have that kind of affiliation with any elected officials, or at least I hope you don't. But it's inevitable. And here's the thing, too, to remember is that there's something special about all of you here. Who here is, I don't know, let's do a test. Who here is a fan of Steve Bannon's War Room? You are people who pay attention. The bad news is that elections are overwhelmingly decided by people who do not pay attention. How many months are we out from the primary? It's late June, and you guys are here at a rally. You are exceptional. And the sad thing is that these elections are decided not by high information voters like you, but by mid and low information voters. Right? That's who decides the election. There's just more of them than there are of us. That's a sad thing, but it's the reality. And once they decided back in 1994, I'm sorry, I do this all the time. Once they decided this back in 2014 that they were going to vote for Langford, the brain sort of stops. They no longer evaluate, they just go in, they cast the ballot, they walk out, they don't even consider any alternatives, right? And television ads, radio ads, which we're going to have a ton of, I'm sure, with this campaign, they don't really do a whole heck of a lot to move that. But so how do you overcome that? And I'm going to tell you what is the most powerful force in electoral politics. You know what the most powerful force is? I'm going to demonstrate it, okay? That is how you break that habit. That is how you overcome the power of incumbency. And that is also something that is very difficult to actually buy no matter how much money you have. You can pay people to do doors, but do you think they have the same passion as a true believer like you are? Do you think the voters notice that? Oh, trust me, they do. I swear I'll pay door knockers on every campaign I've ever worked on. There's a palpable difference in a true believer with hope for the future in their eyes versus somebody who, if they're doing that for a living, God bless them, but they probably made some wrong decisions in life. There's honor in all of this work, but you probably made some wrong decisions. You're probably not terribly happy about doing that. But when you get engaged with the voter and tell them why you have decided you want to stake the future of your state, your family, your country on Jackson, that means something. And that's what it takes to break that connection, to break that habit. So the time is coming soon where the campaign is going to call on you to do not fun things like this, but difficult stuff in hot weather, asking you to pass up on other things you'd rather be doing. You'd rather be going to a night out with your friends at the bar. You'd rather be watching a football game or doing something. No. This not only is this how we win, but this is the only way we win. This is the only way. I'm going to wrap up here, but who here is familiar with, I'm going to say it wrong, but like QAnon or the Q thing? Right? You've heard of it. I'm not asking if you're a fan of it. I'm just asking if you've heard of it, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what my problem is with this. I consider really just to be a somewhat unreliable journalist, much less dangerous than CNN, okay? No one's ever burnt the city down because of QAnon. They've done that because of CNN's misreporting. Here's the problem, is that if you follow the narrative of what it's saying, what they tell you, the storyline is that there's this vast international pedophile network of one-worlders and globalists, and there are these people in the army, on the special forces, and the inside fighting it out to try and defeat them, and eventually they're going to win, and you have to trust the plan, right? That is a fatal conceit. That is wrong, because that tells you that there's other people out there that are going to win this battle for you. The bad news is, and this may be a little scary, there is no them. There's no them out there. It's just you and me. It's just us. So it's on you and me. I'm making eye contact with you. It's on you guys when the time comes for this campaign to need your help, whether it's doing a table, waving a sign, going door to door, making your phone calls. The only way we win is if you get engaged too. So I ask you, can Jackson count on you? Yeah! can't hear it. The Jackson, count on you. And that is how we win. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next